starting
Okay.
out, do anything and you will get better,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You don't have to like overthink it too much. But
Being
for the
able to love yourself and, validate who you are without any form of expression of it. And that's why I feel like that's what true confidence is in my head. Because
It gives us a journey of self-discovery through our art. Yours might be music or film or writing.
Always been my outlook on everything in regards to life. If I see anybody who has anything, my default is if they can have it or if they can do it, so can I.
We get to
Yes.
speak. We get to do a podcast. We get to work out. We get to. It's a privilege that people often complain and take for granted.
The most important thing that you need to improve in your life right now is your mind. In order to start achieving success in anything, you must strengthen your mind first. Welcome back, everybody, to the Insightful Podcast. Today is episode 46 or 47. I cannot remember what episode we're on. I just know we're getting up there. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. Remember, guys, if you are enjoying the podcast so far, like, subscribe, comment. And when you do comment, let me know any future topics you would like me to discuss in the future. With all that out of the way, let's discuss why strengthening your mind is the most important thing you could do right now in your self-improvement journey. In order to realize the purpose and the value of a strong mind, we need to first think about what is a weak mind and what that leads you to do. Where does a weak mind lead you? A weak mind leads you to doing things only that feel good. You only ever do things that feel good in the moment, right? And what this does is it doesn't allow you to build your character. It doesn't allow you to be on self-improvement, because that is the complete opposite of what self-improvement is. Self-improvement, if you want to, get a definition of it from the beginning, is just delayed gratification. It's doing the boring stuff that you don't want to do, and eventually it pays off, right? But what a weak mind will lead you to do is to do all the things that are not self-improvement, right? It's sleeping in, it's being lazy, it's not going to the gym, it's not eating a proper diet, it's not doing things that you know will better your future. That's all it is, right? And I feel like a lot of us all have weak minds from the start. And if we don't try to strengthen our mind, it will only get worse, right? Because I do believe in the fact that if you're not getting better, if you're not improving, you are getting worse. And especially when it comes to the mind. So what did a weak mind do to me? Well, a weak mind put me in a place where I didn't like who I was. I was doing too many things that were leading to a version of myself that I didn't like and that I couldn't be proud of, right? So that's why I realized I had a weak mind, and I realized I needed to start strengthening it. I was the guy before that was playing 8 hours of video games because, it's easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It's nothing strenuous on the mind or on the body. During the pandemic, I was playing video games for like 10 hours a day. And that was all because I had a weak mind. Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun and I made a lot of friends and all these things. But if I had a stronger mind, maybe I would have found opportunity in the pandemic to be productive and to grow as a person, when during that time I only, became less of the disciplined version of myself that I once was, right? So it held me back. And that's why a weak mind will lead to your destruction. It will lead to a version of yourself that you won't be proud of. And this is kind of a flimsy topic because there is no exact way to develop a strong mind that you could see. It's not like a physique where if you train enough, you look in the mirror, you're bigger, you've put on more muscle. You can't really see the effects of you training your mind and strengthening your mind. And that's why I feel like many people that don't understand self-improvement do not see the value in, developing your mindset. But this is the important thing, is that it is the first step and it is the most important thing when it comes to strengthening yourself, right? My AirPods just died. I hope it didn't mess with the podcast, but we continue, my friends. Okay? So, how do we start to build a strong mind? Well, the start to building a strong mind is within itself, the most important thing you could do is start doing uncomfortable things. When you hop into a cold shower, what is telling you to get out? Want to know what's telling you to get out? Your weak mind. Your mind is telling you, oh, it's too cold. Oh, I can't breathe properly. Oh, what's the point of this? It's not worth it. It's just not growing me as a person. Why should I do this? Blah, blah, blah. Boom. That's why, it starts poorly for yourself. And that's why you shouldn't allow those thoughts to consume you, right? And I believe if you want to see if you have a weak mind, get into a cold shower, because that's when it will be exposed, right? But that's all it is, guys. That's all it is. Building a strong mind just starts with, effectively putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, and situations where, you don't want to do it. Everything in your mind's telling you to stop, right? For example, guys, I went into the sauna, for the first time like 2 weeks ago, once this podcast is uploaded. And I'm telling you right now, guys, that thing felt like an oven, man. Everything in my mind was telling me to get out, but I stayed in. And once I stayed in, I was able to develop my mind even more from that small action. And that's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes to build a strong mind. It's just doing these uncomfortable things every single day, and it's compounding. And before you know it, you won't even recognize your mindset a year from now, because you would have done so many things to develop it into a better version of itself, right? The next thing you could do to develop a strong mind, and this is tied in with stoicism, is accepting difficulty and embracing challenges. Who loves to be around those people that when a challenge comes up, they say, let's get this, let's kill this shit. I love being around people like that, right? It's just this positive mindset that uplifts you. And that's what you need to do, is you need to start looking at difficulties in your life and looking at these hurdles that you need to overcome and accepting them and embracing them, most importantly. Embracing them and being excited for them. Why do you think Goggins was able to run 100 miles? Because he was able to tell himself, oh, 100 miles, like, this shit's going to, like, kill me, but I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm happy to do it, Just like when he was running with the Navy SEALs, he was able to accept the torture and accept the messed up stuff that he had to go through in order to be in the position today. And, it felt good to him. And when you're able to be in situations where you should feel like shit and you should feel as if you shouldn't accept this difficulty and you should move away from it as fast as possible, that's when your mind is truly strong. And that's when you're like, wow, I've become such a better version of myself, because I know my old self would not want to do this right now, right? So it's very important that we accept these things and we're able to embrace them, right? So that's why, guys, you need to start accepting the difficulty and embracing the challenges, no matter what aspect of your life it is, right? Because I know if you're able to consistently have this mind frame in your life, you will be a better, more improved version of yourself. And not only of yourself, but of your mind. Because with a strong mind can overcome any challenge in life. And why wouldn't you want that? The next thing you guys could start doing is meditate on how you deal with things in life and how you can improve it, right? When you're faced with an obstacle that you wish wasn't there, but you have to get past, if you're able to meditate before you get going and get trying to fix it, whatever you want to say, if you're able to meditate, okay, this challenge entered my life, how did I react to it? Did I react poorly? Did I get flustered? Did I get anxious? Why did I get anxious? If you start to ask yourself these questions, that's where you come down to the root problem of all this stuff, right? And once you come to the root problem of all of it, that's when you could start to see, where you need to improve. And that's all it comes from. I speak about this a lot because it's very crucial. And I know maybe sometimes some things in this podcast could be repetitive, but it's because I want them to hit home. Is it all starts with understanding. It all starts with believing and understanding why something is the way it is, right? So if you're able to meditate when a new challenge is faced in your life and you're able to understand, okay, how did I react to it? Why did I react to it like that? That's when you could start to see, okay, now I know where I need to strengthen my mind and where I need to catch myself, because I know in this current moment or this moment that might happen in the future again, I'm going to react a certain way. And maybe next time I could react differently to it. The next thing you could do, and the most important thing in my opinion, is just start seeking out difficulties. In this life that we have, everything is comfort, right? Everything is comfortable. You got the heating, you got the AC, you got blankets, you got pillows. Everything feels nice. You got food in the fridge, you got a nice warm shower. We need to actually start seeking out difficulties in order to strengthen our mind. Because if you live the way you're living right now repeatedly, you are not strengthening your mind at all, because everything you go for is a form of easiness and a form of comfortability and convenience. So if you find yourself wanting to seek out more difficulty, you have to start doing things, right? Because if you just live your life the way you've been living, there is no difficulty, right? And I don't know what you're going through in life. So that's why I kind of dislike this shit. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent, but people say, oh, why is this guy talking like this? I am not targeting you specifically. I'm just speaking in general terms. But most of the time, our lives are very comfortable and very easy, and we don't really need to seek out any challenge, right? But that's why we need to do it. We need to seek out difficulties. We need to seek out challenges. People say, oh, cold showers are useless. Cold showers aren't useless. The reason why they work is because, it's a difficult task. And if you're able to do that difficult task, you get a little more uncomfortable. And once you're uncomfortable, you're able to deal with more uncomfortable situations and scenarios. And through those uncomfortable situations that you put yourself in, voluntarily, that's where you're able to strengthen your mind, and you're able to be someone that is stronger and be someone that has a more developed mindset, right? And why wouldn't you want to be someone that could deal with problems easier in the future, right? Because that's only going to affect you and benefit you in a good way, right? All right, I want to leave you guys with a quote once again. I do want to keep doing this, leaving you guys with a quote to meditate on. The mind is just like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets, and the more it can expand, right? This is why training the mind is so important, is because as we grow, monetarily, physically, the mind also needs to grow as well. It can't be behind, right? So that's why mental training and seeking out strengthening your mind is so important, because that's when these physical challenges in your life will be easier to deal with once your mind is strong. And for me, I need to seek out challenges too. You start with 5 minutes of meditation. You're sitting with yourself for 5 minutes of quietness, and that becomes easy. So you need to seek out more difficulties. So you change that timer to 20 minutes, then you change it to 30. For me, I'm going to start meditating 20 minutes a day because I've been doing 10 for so long, and I need to find more challenge in my life. So that's why I'm doing it, right? And that's how I'm going to start, to give you guys some context. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening in and making it this far. Remember to give us a follow on Spotify. And if you enjoyed the episode, I can't wait for you guys to watch the next one. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.